All right, very good evening to you guys. Welcome back to Python coding section. Okay, so in our last class, we started looking at advanced data structure. And I told us that these are data structure within Python. These are inbuilt data structure, or let me say constructors that are used to hold multiple values, unlike the variable, which holds only one value per time in its storage location. And I listed out about 4 major advanced data structure in Python, starting with the Python lists. We took our time. I think the whole of that class was on Python lists. So just in case you missed that section, you can find a video at Digitech Zeal that is on the YouTube. We explained so many things around lists. Number one, we were taught that lists is one of the Python advanced data type, which can hold multiple value. And then after that, we played around understanding some of the methods that are used to modify, some of the methods that are used to modify lists contents. Remember, I told us that lists is mutable, which means that once element has been added, you can modify the content of that list. And that was what led to several functions that we related with in order to quantify that particular statement that says lists are mutable, which means they can be changed or modified after creation. All right, so we look at so many functions regarding to that. You can find the video if you are here and you are not in that class. I think the video has also been dropped in your WhatsApp community. So make sure you visit it and understand what we have in there, because tonight we are focusing on other types of advanced data types. We are focusing on other types. And if you can remember what I told us in that section, why we use the whole of that 2 hours to understand lists. Remember, I told us that once you understand lists, it's like you have already understood other data structure 40 to 50%. And that is why you will see the speed at which we are going to understand the ones we are looking at in this section, using or relying on the knowledge of the lists. All right, so tonight we are still on, for those that are writing notes, we are still on Python. We are still on Python Advanced Data Types. So far, so good. We have already looked at Python lists, and I've also explained to us that the Python list uses square brackets to select or hold its elements. Then we want to continue with that topic. So we are still under Python Advanced Data Structure or data type. But we are going to look at, we are starting tonight with Python Dictionary. That is another advanced data type. Python dictionary. For those that are writing, to show you documents, your notes, Python dictionary. So let's start by looking at the definition of dictionary. So in Python coding or Python programming, what do we mean by dictionary? Number one, we should understand that dictionary is one of the advanced data structure in Python. But let's look at its official definition. A dictionary is a built-in, let me see if I can put it here. I said what is a built-in data type or data structure. It's a built-in data structure used for or used to store. So just like the way you store multiple values with lists, so we also use dictionary to store values. So used to store data in. So this is what actually makes dictionary different from list. So I just want to continue here so that we can see the entire note. So used to store data in key. So this is what actually distinguish a dictionary from other data type, other advanced data type. Value pairs. So you cannot learn dictionary without understanding that, or without understanding the manner at which or the mode of it handling data, right, within its storage. So dictionary has a key and value. So we can indirectly explain dictionary as the collection of variables and their values. That is logical definition of dictionary. We are going to look at it in a moment, and that will qualify that second definition, that dictionary logically can be seen as the collection of variables and their value. Don't forget that we did mention that variables are container or boxes which holds value within the program. So if we are saying the collection of variables and their value, it's just like you are using one principal variable to hold other words, sub-variable with their corresponding value. So I just want us to picture it from that angle. Now, look at the keyword here, key value, which means that two in one. All right, so that is one of the uniqueness of dictionary. Other data structure we are going to look at, including the list that we have concluded, does not have key. Those one only store what? Values directly. But when it comes to dictionary, it stores both values and key. Now let's look at the structure. So just to add to it, just to add to the definition for proper understanding, so we can say that each key is a unique, or each key is unique and is used to access its corresponding value. Just like the way you have your variable unique and their respective word value or corresponding value. So for example, we want to look at a live scenario where dictionary can be used when you are developing application. For example, you are developing a school management system. In other words, a system that can help a school to store all their student information. So in that case, we can decide to use dictionary to hold all their value because their information will be stored in key value pairs. How do I know? We are going to say first name and then the person's name. So that first name is the key. Then the name of the person is the value. Then we are going to say middle name and the person's middle name. So that middle name is a key, while the person's middle name is what? The value. Then we are also going to say the person age. So that age is a key, while the person actual age is the what? The value. so on and so forth. So which means that if, for example, we made a mistake during the time of developing the application, we can easily call the particular person's data we want to modify using its key. Because once I invoke the key, the value will be called. Can I get a response if we are actually following? Are we following? Okay, let me get a response from one person before we look at the example. So the example,
Yes,
so the example will explain it all. So let's look at the example. Now, don't forget that in this case, it is safe for me to logically say that the key is equal to variable. Logically, why the value, why the value is the content. The content in the variable. The value is the content in the variable. So logically, just take it like this. Logically, just understand it like this. I think just understand it. Now you're going to see how I'm going to demonstrate that now. Now, what is the task? The task here is create a dictionary, create a Python dictionary to store student biodata. So let's put it as a task. So it's an app. So we are asked to develop an app, right, that can hold everything about a particular student. So instead of me creating 5 different variables, for example, I want to store the student's first name, the country the student is from, the age of the student, and probably the state of the student. So which means that if I do not understand this advanced data structure, that will have required me creating 4 different variables like we established from the beginning. So to avoid duplicating variables, that is why we are using the Python multi-data structure, a structure that we can use one variable to hold multiple values. And that will make the program to respond faster because the program will no longer be giving attention to too many things. And that is the modern way of programming. And that is why you see those old applications used to be very slow because there was no this concept of
Sorry,
advanced data
everything
structure.
is getting out.
You are not getting me or what? When you say it is
At
getting
all,
out,
the network is very,
I think it's from
very
your
bad.
end.
We are when you reach here.
Please, I would like to find out if it's happening from only his end. Can somebody hear me? And I just want to know whether it's from my end. Can somebody hear me or has somebody been following? Please let me get a response from other persons. Let me know whether you are experiencing the same thing he mentioned. People should unmute and talk now. Are we not here? Mr. Clement, hope you are good now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I think
When
you
you
may need
begin
to.
to crack, even if I stopped hearing you from.
I will need to confirm from another person if I'm to adjust my network or not. Let me know if it's happening to
yes,
everybody.
so yes, I can hear you clearly.
So which means, Mr. Clement, you need to work on your network, maybe change your network. I think it's from your end. So just try and see how you can manage the
It's not
situation.
that it's clear. The time you started.
No, what we are saying is that he has been following, and I think he has spoken 1 or 2 times. He has never mentioned the network is not stable. Well, since you say you are hearing me now, let's continue. Let me see how it goes. So, looking at this task, a very simple task that will enable us to apply the dictionary. So let's assume I was trying to picture it from a real life situation. If you are creating an app, you are developing an app, and that app is to help a school or an organization probably to manage their staff's information, then you are going to develop an interface that will allow them to impute, to feed in all their staff's information. So what we are saying is that in that case, you are going to use a dictionary instead of using variable concept, because it's just like you are using a single variable to envelop what individual what staff instead of spreading their details across different what memory location. That will end up slowing down the system performance. So let's say we are to create a Python dictionary to store students data. Python dictionary to store student data. So this will enable us to understand the syntax. Remember, I told us that anytime you are writing a program, always start by understanding the structure of that code. How is dictionary declared? You need to understand the syntax. That is one of the things we have established from the beginning. The syntax are a set of rules that determine how code are written. So what is the syntax for writing dictionary? So we are going to start with the name of the dictionary. So that name will now stand as a variable, but it is not the same with the usual variable, because this is a variable that is holding multiple value, while other variables are variables that hold just a single value. So I can say, okay, my dictionary is D1, for example. That is the name of my dictionary. Or just to make it more descriptive, I can say dictionary underscore name. I can just use something like this. All right, so I'll prefer not using cap lock. Prefer not using cap lock. So dictionary underscore name, or you can use any name so long it's not a keyword is allowed to be used. So long it's not a keyword. All right, then equals to. Now, another thing again you need to take note of is what type of brackets dictionary uses. Remember when I started, I drew our attention to the bracket we use when we were dealing with Python list, which is what? Square bracket. Now, in dictionary, we are using coiling brace bracket. Coiling brace bracket. So how does coiling brace bracket look like? Which is this? So this is the brackets we use when you are creating dictionary. If you use the square brackets, it's going to throw error. Now, since dictionary is just like a data structure that group related information, so I can expand it before I start creating my elements. Now, remember we said that dictionary is a key value pair, a key value pair. So which means that you start by, mentioning the key, and the key should be recognized as string. So for example, just to state the structure, I can say this is what? Key 1. Now, the separator between the key and the value is what? Column. And then if the value is a number, we just type it without what? Quoting it. But if the value is a string, then it will also be acknowledged as a string. So I can say this is value 1. Then you put a comma. So this is what actually makes it key value pairs, 2 in 1, because you have a key and then you have a value. So now I'm just trying to define the structure before I implement the task. So I will have another key here. So I'll have like another key here, let's say key 2. And then if the value going into the key, which is now equivalent to variable. If it's a number, maybe this one is going to be my age. So I can just type the number. So let me just say this is what value 2. So I'm only trying to give us the structure of what the dictionary, how you are to declare your key and what value. So this is going to be value 2. And then once you are done with that, you put a comma and then you continue like that. So this is the syntax of what? The dictionary. So let me comment this so that we can go straight to the main